Gran Turismo allows us to tune up everyday cars into some absolute monstrosities. 2 GT7 creators have given me their 5 most cursed creations, and I want to see which is the worst in the game. To do this, I'm going to fully upgrade each of these cars, then come to the Alsace test track to see if I can manage a lap time. Then once we crown a winner, which in reality is probably a loser, I'm going to attempt a hot lap at the longest and hardest track in the world, the Nurburgring Nordschleife. You're going to want to stick around for this one. The lap of the green hell at the end was absolutely horrendous. Big thanks to these two guys for recommending these horrible machines. Without further ado, let's get into car number 1. We're starting out with a familiar car, the VW Sambabus. More renowned for family trips than trips to a racetrack, but we're about to give this thing some performance numbers that make it far from family friendly. But first, what is it like stock? With only 33 brake horsepower coming from an air-cooled rear-mounted flat 4, this thing could barely get up the hill on this lap. I have a feeling though, getting up the hill is going to be the last of our issues once this thing is completely maxed out. Right, so let's head over to the tuning shop and get this thing a few upgrades. I'm going to buy literally everything for this thing. So I proceeded to purchase every single upgrade possible, slowly upgrading the stats of this car. But once complete, it was still no race-bred machine. Some major heart surgery was required. Right, we started on 33 brake horsepower and up to a massive 41 brake horsepower. Let's keep going. Right, with everything purchased, we're now up to 98 brake horsepower in this bad boy. But there's one more thing that we're going to do. The engine swap. It's time to put a 3.6 litre Porsche 911 engine in this thing, taking it to 255 brake horsepower. Let's go. After the mechanics threw in that flat 6, it unlocked even more upgrades for us to put on this thing. Let's tune this all the way up as well. After spending more credits than I care to mention on the racing, extreme and ultimate components to get this thing ready for the track, it was time to see how after all these changes it was going to perform. Look at that Sambabus with over 500 brake horsepower. Okay, time to see what we have created. And after what we drove before we upgraded this thing, it's clear we created an absolute monster. After reducing the weight to less than a ton and giving it over 500 brake horsepower, it was a bullet in a straight line. My word, I'm in this view because the other ones don't really work. I'll show you what chase cam looks like. You can't see anything. So, in the cockpit it is cockpit, front seat, whatever it is. Whilst it was fast in a straight line, it became very clear very quickly that the once stellar handling of this Sambabus had been ever so slightly compromised. Let's get around this lap first. Right! Let's see what this baby can do. Some lift off oversteer there. Lovely jubbly. Some slight body roll. I was having to put in a load of steering corrections to tame this beast, but the lap was going well so far. Be careful over this crest. Down to third. Get it stopped. Oh, we almost hit the wall. Be patient, be patient, be patient. It wants to kill me. It almost did kill me. One more corner to go. Slam on the anchors. Get it stopped. Kind of. Now we accelerate to the line. Over 100 miles an hour and across the line. Oh, what is this? So now it's time, having done our laps, to score the Sambabus. First car of the day. As a reminder, 10 is the best, it's out of 10. And 10 is like a really nice car to drive. Cars like the Porsche 911 that you could drive for something for a long time, like say 28 hours. That's a 10 out of 10, and a 1 out of 10 is something like the Willys Jeep. So this is gonna go, I think, to be fair to it, I'm going to give this a 5. It wasn't too bad. It was too quick, but it didn't like to stop, and it had a smidgen of body roll. Let's see what's next. From one of the largest road cars in the game now to one of the smallest. Next up is the Fiat Abarth 595. And when I was recommended this, I was thinking to myself, how can it possibly be this bad? Well, we were about to put way too much power into a tiny car from all the way back in the 1960s. Standard, this thing has even less horsepower than the Sambabus, a mere 30 from a rear mounted 2-cylinder 595cc engine. And you're about to see that this rear mounted engine was gonna become a slight issue. That, and adding the fact that this thing is sub 500 kilos, and well, you can probably see where this one's going. Now let's tune up this little Abarth. Adding in the initial components, it raised the spec slightly, but we weren't gonna stop there. Right, I think that is everything. And we've gone from 30 brake horsepower, which is actually less than the Sambabus that came before this, but now it's gone up to 86. That's before we pop the all-important engine in it. Taking it from 86 brake horsepower to 350. So it was time to throw in the iconic turbocharged K20 engine from a Honda Civic Type R, and this was about to get silly. Let's get it on track. Right, with that all done, the grand total is 493 brake horsepower. This thing weighs 537 kilos. This is going to be absolutely crazy. Right. What on earth? Look at it. Oh my word. What's it doing? Now usually this is the part where I add some voiceover here to explain to you what's going on, but these next few minutes speak for themselves. What is it doing? It's got too much power. And it just instantly gets to the top of the gearing straight away. This thing is an animal. This thing is an absolute animal. What have we created? Right, nice and easy. Because I have to wait. I can only accelerate in a straight line because it lifts up like this and my front wheels are off the floor. Straight up to over 100 miles an hour. Oh no. This thing's bad. I can't even turn it round because it's only on 2 wheels. Okay, quick lap. Let's go. Okay, we'll edit that out. Nice and easy. Nice and easy now. Oh! Hello? I'm afraid to put my foot down here. I might even not give you a chance. Come on. No. Anytime that you want to go in a straight line, you're doing a wheelie. Anytime you want to turn, you're in the barriers. To be honest, I'm glad the gearing is so small actually, because then we can only get up to 100 miles an hour. Anything more, and we'd be in big trouble. Right, let's come across the line. Here we go. Floor it! That was pretty bad. If the Sambabus was a 6, that's got to be... It's got to be a 3, I think. That was rough. Next up is the Toyota Alphard, which actually has some okay numbers for a people carrier. It runs a 2.5 litre hybrid engine with 4-wheel drive, so it should be equipped to handle some extreme power. The only issue, this thing weighs over 2 tons. So with nearly 300 horsepower, driving this thing stock wasn't actually that bad, but we have a pretty special engine lined up for this one. You know the process by now, so we're going to go straight to the engine swap. The engine swap is 850,000 credits because the engine we're putting in this thing is from a Lexus LFA. 4.8 litres, 500 brake horsepower, and that's before we even tune it. This thing's going to be an absolute monster, I think. Not only is this going to be a significant power upgrade, but a significant sound upgrade too. My word. 700 brake horsepower. Oh, my word. Listen to it. Well, already this feels better than that last thing we're in. And it sounds better as well. Let's take it nice and easy though. So this of course is our sighting lap before we go full beans. Let's just see how we go. It's at the start it's much, well, I hit the wall there and I was about to say, commentator's curse, it's much more stable. It is much more stable than the last one, but again it's got a high centre of gravity like the old Sambabus, so it can be a bit of a problem. Right, overall though, much more confident than the last one. Let's go. What am I doing with my life? A 700 horsepower V10 in an Alphard. Let's go, let's be careful over the crest. Using all the track. Patience, running wide on me. Go! One more corner. Done. Across the line. I quite like that actually. Now I'll tell you what, I quite enjoyed that. That was quite a nice experience. The sound, the fact it didn't want to kill me. I think we were probably a little bit overzealous with the Sambabus, but we can't score that any lower than the Sambabus. So I'm going to give the Toyota Alphard Executive Lounge from 2018 a solid 7.5, I'd say. Let's see what's next. A decent score for the Alphard there, but before we get into the last two on the list, can you please do me a favour and help me get our channel subscribers up to the big 300,000. I'm pushing to get there by the end of the year, so if you could hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, I'd massively appreciate it. Right, on to the penultimate car on this horrendous list. Now this is a bit more like it, starting with an already accomplished sports car, the rotary powered rear wheel drive Mazda RX-7. It has a 1.3 litre twin rotor under the bonnet with 293 brake horsepower, but our next upgrade for this car is going to double that in every single way. Now with a lower centre of gravity and a wing on the back, I had high hopes for this, until I saw which car its new engine was being taken from. Okay, let's take things up a notch. We're here with the Mazda RX-7 and look how much this engine swap costs. 1,750,000. It's a special one. The Mazda 787B. Which is actually two of this car's original engines strapped together. Then we're going to add in some forced induction. High RPM turbocharger. To take the max power of this thing from 634 brake horsepower to 911. Did you hear that? Now that is the most incredible mod this game gives us access to, taking this car to 300 brake horsepower over the original 787B race car. Oh my word. A Mazda 787B engine in an RX-7. This is far too much power for this chassis. The power was sorted, but could the brakes keep up? Stop! This thing's a beast. Oh! Right! I don't think this thing's going to stop, is it? Stop? Well, that's one way of stopping. Let's go. This engine was so lethal it was banned. But there are no such rules here on GT7, so... Save it! No! Just too much power for this chassis. Too much power. Almost 150 miles an hour. Then it just doesn't want to stop. Wow. Brake now. Are you going to stop? I don't think so. Right. And across the line. And I've looked up the rears. Right, let's get it stopped. Right. Whew. Right, we've got to score that one. That one was... I mean, it was just too much power for that thing. Way too much power. I would say it's not as horrendous as the Abarth. However, it was worse than the Sambabus, I'd say. So with that, it's got to be a 5. Last one now, and the most powerful. Buckle up. Now this is about to get really silly. Here we have a DeLorean DMC, a car more renowned for its film career than its performance, but we were about to change all that. It starts out with a 2.85 litre V6 mounted over the rear axle, but the suspension could be the secret weapon here, being designed by Lotus. However, this is the most powerful swap yet, so it was time to see what we're going to put in this thing. Let's go. With an LS7 Rampage engine. Taking it from 197 brake horsepower to 748 before other tunes. 937 brake horsepower. 997 brake horsepower. 1,104 brake horsepower in a DeLorean. We definitely saved the best till last. Let's go. Oh, stop. Listen to this. It's a monster. It's a monster. Wow. I don't really know what to say. Almost 160 miles an hour. That was quicker than the RX-7 with the 787B engine in it. I barely touched the throttle then, and we were around. Let's go. Let's go. I think. Even with the super sticky racing softs on, 1100 horsepower was just too much for those rear tyres. Oh. Still wheel spinning. This is ridiculous. I'm worried now, because I think this is a worse handling car just through sheer power and ferocity over that little Abarth that we were struggling with earlier, which means that we might have to take this thing over to Germany. And to the Nordschleife. Oh no. What an animal. Oh no. Yeah. That was, as I mentioned during the laps, it was the worst handling car of them all. The Abarth was bad, but the sheer power in that thing made it even worse. And that's got to be a 2. Which means it's time to go, unfortunately, to the Nurburgring Nordschleife. Well, welcome everyone to the Nurburgring Nordschleife here in the 1100 brake horsepower DeLorean. The car I have crowned the worst handling engine swap car on Gran Turismo 7. My word. How I'm going to make it round here, I do not know. For reference, I don't know why I'm even saying this, production car lap records are around the 6:30 to 7-minute. I'll be amazed if we make it around here without crashing, to be honest. Whoa. Careful. I thought I could open her up a little bit down this straight, but in hindsight I probably shouldn't have tried that. Oh, it's taken off! Ugh. That's wall count 1. Make that wall count 2 and 3. Oh. Can we save it? Oh, that doesn't count. Still only 1 trip to the barriers so far. We've only got about 100 corners to go. I wonder how quick this thing's going to end up going down the Dosjaho. Even if we make it to the Dosjaho, I wonder how fast this thing will be. It'd be good to do a VMAX run with it. But yeah, let's try and just get through this part first. I mean, it's a bit wobbly on the old suspension, I'll give it that. Get it straightened up, heading towards the carousel. We're going to stay in it? No, of course we're not. Of course we're not going to stay in the carousel. Even having tuned the suspension to the max, the springs were just not able to contain all that power. For me, the best sector of any racetrack in the world, this car has no place being anywhere near it. Oh, and just like that, a huge bit of oversteer out of nowhere. Oh, this thing is such a monster. It might come as a surprise to you that we're not going to break any records here as we get to 6.5 minutes. And we take another trip to the barrier. Here we go. Let's go. Full beans! 170, 180, 190, 200 miles an hour. 230. This thing's going to blow up. Next question is, as we come under the Bilstein Bridge, how long is it going to take to stop? Well, actually, I think I found the fastest way to stop this thing. Well, there's one way of doing it. Just the lift off of the throttle to remind us as we get to the end of the lap. that this is indeed the most horrendous car, the most horrendous engine swap GT7 has to offer. If you did enjoy this, please hit that like button. If you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel. But that's me and this DeLorean and these engine swaps just about done. Now this video reminded me of one that I did where I drove all of the worst handling cars on GT7. That video's here and you should check that one out next.